From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 7th, 2018. A Palestinian teenage girl tried to stab an Israeli man in the West Bank today. The local council of Hebron said the incident took place near the Jewish settlement of Chavat Talia, where the 16-year-old apparently got into a verbal altercation with the man and then tried to stab him with a pair of scissors. She was arrested and no injuries were reported. In a historic first, Saudi Arabia is allowing an airline to fly over its airspace on flights to and from Israel. Air India confirmed that it was given permission to use the Saudi airspace for its new direct route between Tel Aviv and Delhi, which cuts flight time by about 2 hours and marks a significant and historic achievement for Israel that has no ties with the Gulf state, which has never before allowed flights to or from Israel over its airspace. An Air India spokesperson confirmed that the flights will begin on March the 22nd, 3 times a week. El Al Israel Airlines now also wants that same permission for its flights. Former President of Argentina, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, will be tried on charges that she covered up Iran's involvement in the 1994 terrorist bombing of the AMIA Jewish Center in Buenos Aires, which left 85 people dead and dozens injured. Federal Judge Claudio Bonadio announced the ruling this week, also noting 11 other former officials who will be tried on similar charges, all validating the findings of Jewish Special Prosecutor Alberto Nisman, who was murdered in January of 2015 just before he was supposed to present those findings to Argentina's parliament. The Associated Press reported that back in December, Bonadio asked the Argentine Senate to strip de Kirchner of her parliamentary immunity to clear the way for an arrest and trial. The Senate has not yet acted on that request, which prevents an arrest but does not prevent a trial. Israel's Knesset today passed a law allowing police to hold the bodies of Palestinian terrorists killed while carrying out terror attacks. The law passed 48-10. It allows district police commanders to set limits on funerals or withhold terrorist bodies from their families if there is a fear that the funeral could be used to incite further terrorism or act as a platform for praising terror, which has been known to often be the case. And a bill that would cut Israeli funding to the Palestinian Authority over the stipends it pays out to convicted terrorists and their families cleared its first reading in the Knesset this week. 52 Knesset members voted in favor of the bill, which would deduct the payments made by the PA to Palestinian terrorists and their families from tax revenues that Israel transfers annually to the Palestinian Authority. The president of the European Jewish Congress, Moshe Kantor, announced a new award to help fight extremism and intolerance. The $1 million Kantor Prize for Secure Tolerance was announced at the European Council on Tolerance and Reconciliation taking place this week in Monaco. Kantor also honored Prince Albert II of Monaco at the event for his apology back in 2015 over Monaco's treatment of Jews during the Holocaust. The prince received the European Medal of Tolerance and said he would continue to work for the commemoration of the Holocaust, not only as a head of state, but simply as a human being. Well, Israel yesterday welcomed the USS Iwo Jima to its shores. The amphibious American assault vessel arrived off Israel's coast to participate in this year's Juniper Cobra exercise, a massive joint drill that takes place every 2 years between the Israeli and American military. Earlier this week, Israel and France held a joint naval exercise. The Jerusalem Post reports that Netflix has picked up more Israeli-made programming. A 4-part documentary series on Israel's National Intelligence Agency, the Mossad Imperfect Spies, will be debuting here in the U.S. in January of next year. This according to the show's co-creator, Yossi Melman. Melman wrote on Twitter that he was proud and happy to share the news and said the series focused on the history, operations, psychology, and dilemmas of the Mossad. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, March the 7th, At 7 o'clock, it's from the Aleph Bet. At 7:30, Likud Knesset member Yuval Steinitz speaks at the 2017 Jerusalem Post Conference. At 8, we hear from the director of the Pardes Center for Judaism and Conflict Resolution, Daniel Roth. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with the director of Hazamir International Jewish Teen Choir, Vivian Lazar. And then at 10, it's a concert from Hazamir at Congregation Rodef Shalom in New York. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 7th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.